Automations. GPs, very little without add-ons, such as Integration Manager, Smart Connect, or posting tools. We do have a lot of people that have those and use those, and it definitely helps. With GP's workflow 18.4, they added the ability for approvals to post transactions through workflow. 18.5, they added approvals that can originate from email approvals for master records, and so forth. So again, functionality is still being added to GP. It will continue to be. It's just not major functionality. They're not doing significant investment, but they're not going to invest in GP. We'll continue to see enhancements as they come through. Acumatica, on the other hand, has automation schedules, something called business events, on top of workflows and approvals. Plus, they have a built-in import-export scenario. So all of that is built into the product. So anything that you see in Acumatica, when I'm on a screen, a process screen, so maybe release payments, I go into that screen, you'll see over here, all I got to do is click this, and now I can add a schedule. And that schedule says, okay, process this however often I want to, right? I basically set up a schedule, and the system's automatically going to run that. So maybe I wanted to, take my shipments that I've shipped to my customers today. At the end of the day, I want to automatically invoice them, or I want to do it 3 times a day. Again, it's built into the product. We don't have to add anything to it. So easy capabilities. On top of that, you have business events where you can actually trigger things to happen. So, if somebody sets up a new vendor, I want to send an alert to, the accounting manager to say, this new vendor has been created, right? That's a business event, simple business event, right? Business events are very complex, where you can actually update the system on itself based on certain conditions, right? So a lot of capabilities, got to get very creative because the framework of Acumatica, being as new as it was, allowed them to take advantage of technology that just didn't exist before. AP document recognition, again, built into the product. So basically, I had an incoming email listening to these invoices that are coming in. I can go ahead and they would all flow into here, of course. So I've got all these invoices that are pending processing, right? I've got one that is processed. When you process them, it reads the document that came in, it finds the pertinent information, right? And as I'm clicking around here, if I click on this side, I can see where it's found it. If it didn't find it, it would be asking you, right? So invoice. So here I've clicked the vendor reference, which is the invoice number, and it's highlighting it over here, right? Total picked up, where it's finding that. Again, the line item details are also pulled in from here. So as I'm looking at this information, it's pulling the information right off the invoice and populating this, right? So, and it's creating the AP document. Once I say, go ahead, and it's going to create this based on that information. So I have an interim. So again, built into the product, you don't have to add another add-on to like you would for GP to be able to add that functionality. It's built in. It also works with Acumatica 3-way matching. So, and there's an Outlook add-in that allows, if I was receiving invoices and I had the Outlook add-in, I could just push that invoice directly into Acumatica without having to send it to a listening email to get it that way. So options there. Again, built-in notification templates for easy notifications. So again, it supports full emailing, activities, tracking, all of that. So you can see everything that went on. I got an invoice in from the vendor, maybe I question it, I can send that email back to the vendor. Again, all that's going to be visible within Acumatica's activities. So Acumatica has a retail commerce edition, which has built-in integrations of Shopify, BigCommerce, and Amazon. So again, built-in solution, you're just configuring it to work with whichever your retail solution that you're using. Open API capabilities, so you're really connecting to all the different kinds of apps out there. So here's an example of an automation schedule where I'm setting it up to release AP bills, right? So again, pretty simple to do. Business events, we talked about so really you can react to any data is changing, creating email notifications or updating business data within the Acumatica. So you really can get very complex processes happening without having to do real programming, right? We don't have to write a program. We don't have to write customizations. We're just configuring the system based on the built-in tools, right? And of course, Acumatica is continuing to innovate on this and trying to make it so that way it's low code, no code capabilities. So a couple of examples of automation scenarios that you might, want to have involved, right? And we just went to the AP document recognition.